Ladies and gentlemen, we had the Nigerian mission. Today is in May, the 23rd. Here the Nigerian mission. Still trying to see if we can have some of the officials here and know what's going on within their mission. Like we reported some few days ago, Prof. Ebiem was London using official ICANN. And we've been following up this report, the RepublicReporters, and we're trying to know what they think and what's going on. Right now, we landed, and basically some of the officials who were in front of the building ran away. They don't want to be interviewed, they don't want to be seen on this video, and basically we're trying to talk to some professors. The professor will be here tonight, this evening, to speak to RepublicReporters. Professor AKANNO, and RepublicReporters columnist. Osita Ebiem, who will also be speaking to the RepublicReporters. We'll be downloading this on our YouTube tonight, a couple of hours from now, and we'll be following this to see how this goes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the reporters here in New York City, and we're trying to reach guys and try to find out what's going on. So we just came, so please stand by and follow this news. Thank you. Basically, officials. Next to it. Yeah, the Nigerian Consulate to the United Nations. Following this news as it breaks. Hopefully, we'll be having the professors talk to us tonight. So hopefully we can talk to the reporters this evening. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, stand by. So this is we're investigating what they're using official ICANN. They can't go to London anymore because Ibori, former Delta State Governor, Ibori, is actually jailed for 13 years, and that is exactly what's going on right now. I do, sir. Is that Professor AKANNO? That's Professor AKANNO. Let's say we have a Professor AKANNO. Yes, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, RepublicReporters right here. We have Professor AKANNO is right here. We also have a RepublicReporters columnist. Osita Ebiem is on the ground. We're so excited to have you guys in New York City. Yeah, so you can stand here if you want. You have the free. This payment is free. Okay. Nobody can stop you, so can tell us what's going on. We heard 3.8 million was laundered using embassy official ICANN. This happened 2 weeks ago. Both the Washington DC account and the consulate, right now they can't pay their employees. So this is happening, and it's a shame that the kind of officials that we have running the missions here in New York City. This should be a consulate serving the UN United Nations. Okay, exactly, Nigerian mission to the UN, and then Washington serves the entire United States. And beyond. But it's a shame what is happening, and they're drilling your oils, Biafrans, basically, and to service the economy. The Yorubas and the Hausas are using the oil to include the economy. There's not an economy right now. So we want to know your opinion, and I don't know how you want to go. Professor AKANNO, are you ready?
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Professor AKANNO is right here. One of our eminent professors here in the United States wants to, talk to us. Professor AKANNO, good evening, sir. How are you doing, sir?
Fine, sir.
We are RepublicReporters. We are based here in New York City, and we've been hearing about you. You're a prominent professor here in the United States. Could you tell us, what you teach here in the States and which college?
Okay, I'm a professor of computer science.
Computer science, okay.
Okay. I'm not engaged in active teaching now.
Okay.
I work for the state of California.
California, all right.
I flew in from California.
You flew in from California?
Yeah. When I was in active teaching,
okay,
I was a member of the Department of Computer Science at Kent University, the City University College System,
okay,
Philly Dickinson University,
all right,
okay, where I was in the management Institute of Administrative Services.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so but for the past 10 years, I've not done active.
That's okay. I mean, you've done your duty. You've paid your dues, and we are proud of you. Okay. So that's why we are privileged to have you on the camera to talk to us now, because our viewers will be watching this. Yeah. We heard about that 3.8 million was laundered using this Nigerian Consulate to the United Nations and the embassy account back in Washington, D.C. It's called money fraud, basically money laundering. Okay. What do you think about that? Okay.
You know, I'm a Biafran.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so any problem they have in Nigeria, you know, I think, you know, I look at that from that standpoint. Okay. So that is their problem.
That's their problem.
As a Biafran, I'm interested in our self-determination and independence.
Yes, sir.
So it's unfortunate that most of the people that will be affected with, you know, non-payment of salary as a result of the fraud and money laundering would be like just common people. Yeah. And most of them would be, unfortunately, my brothers and sisters.
That's right.
Okay. The most important thing from the Biafran standpoint is that we want our independence. Okay. You know, doing all we can to make sure that that is actualized. Okay. There are other Biafran movements that you know, also involved
in London, in Australia, Netherlands.
So you know, we are working with
Canada.
them.
Yes. Okay.
As you know, if they want our help, we can work with them. But my own. I don't, you know, if Nigerians, that has been going on since the amalgamation.
Since 50 years.
Since
1914. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if they want to continue in that route, in regards of what Lord Lugard talked about them, his opinion about them, if they want to, you know, be fools as Lord Lugard,
to be rooted.
Yes, as Lord Lugard himself observed in 1940, that's their problem.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They're not acting as grown up. You know, they should. You know, things like having the national conference or so that people can come and decide their future.
Sure, they know. Okay.
There's nothing bad in talking.
At all. That's not wrong with
it's a family.
Yes, sir.
You know, then you could talk and resolve your problem.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can't be going since 1914. A group, someone just come and impose
a rule on you,
on the native,
and you continue with the negativism.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
But the question, if I may interrupt you, Professor, the oil that is used to service this society, so to speak, is coming from the Biafran territory. Yeah, that's so what's your reaction? I mean, it's your oil.
Yeah, that's another problem. They loot our oil, and they use it to oppress us. You know, where does that happen?
That's criminal.
It's criminal. You know, meanwhile, people are starving in all our territories.
Yes, sir.
Not just all our territory, all over the so-called Nigerian territory.
Yes, sir.
People are starving there. People are denied basic medical services.
Facilities, there's no roads,
there's
nothing. No water,
and meanwhile, they are milking tons of gallons.
8 billion.
Billions of
a day, per day. Barrels of oil per day.
A day.
Yes, sir.
And then where's the money going?
They can't account for it.
You can't.
We had Abacha looted 4.8 billion. And it was siphoned to London. Babangida looted how many? Almost 13 point something billion from what you went from Iraqi war. We have Jordan right now, who's they call their president, is currently looting the resources. Where they're keeping the money, we have no idea. We heard that Abubakar looted billions. They stashed them all over the United States, London, and other European countries and Swiss banks. We don't know what's going on. What are Biafrans doing? As to looting the Ogoni people, the Job people, the Igbos, the Ngwas, the Igweres, the Ebema, all those areas. Efik, Calabar, Ibibio. What are they doing? Because this is their resources that is being looted in cooperation with multinationals that come from this country. It's not oil. Yes, sir.
The solution, like I said, is self-determination and independence. Okay. Our people have to wake up. We've lived as brothers and sisters, in-laws, etc. By this I mean the Ogonis, the Fakes, Jaws, Igbos, etc., etc. We've lived there 6,000 years before Lord Lugard arrived there.
Yes, sir.
And we had a good structure. All right, we never turned against each other until Lord Lugard came in and Gowon came in.
Yes, sir.
And turned, people against each other.
Right.
And the thing for us, the solution for us, is for us to get our self-determination and independence.
Yes, sir.
And that will solve our own problem. Well, I'm not interested in what Nigeria is doing or Nigerians are doing. Okay. As long as they give us our self-determination and independence, for me that is the bottom line. But
never in time, nowhere in the world can they give you your states freely.
There are various ways. Okay. There are many people that are embarking on peaceful,
approach.
Peaceful approach or peaceful methods of attaining independence.
All right.
Now, within even as we speak in Biafra, people are tired. you know, it's only a question of time before people will be, you know, look at other alternatives. Pick up arms, etc. It's already there. That's, you know, like people like MEND, etc.
Boko Haram, I mean, that brings me to Boko Haram.
Yeah.
This is an Islamist movement, which of course I'm hearing that Buhari is supporting it. Muhammad Buhari, former general in the military, who is a member of the CPC. That's what we are hearing. According to our intelligence, we are hearing that he's part of, you know, instigating. Currently, he just made a statement that the dogs and the bones will be blooded. So, what do you think about such comments?
Okay, well, for me too, the question is self-determination and independence. If Arewa or the Boko Haram movement want their independence, self-determination and independence, they should be granted that. Okay. So, in order, if everyone, all those sections that Lugard created, you know, would go in for their self-determination and independence, the corruption would stop.
How?
You know, first of all, in the emerging countries that will come on, so whether it's Arewa or Duduwa Republic or Biafra, you will have control, you have accountability. You can't play one group against the other. Then people can adequately manage the resources. Then you can't see someone coming from another group looting, bringing his own gangsters, looting the place up, and moving on and bringing another group set of gangsters to loot the place up. So the solution is self-determination and independence for Arewa Republic. That is what the Boko Haram group wants. Let them have it.
Exactly. Okay.
If it is what the Oduduwa Republic want and Biafra, let them have it. There's nothing. Everybody will be happy. There's not, you know, it's good to do it in a peaceful way. Than violent way. But where they refuse to do it in a peaceful way, the violent way will be imposed on them by you know, changing events.
Chain of reaction. It's a chain of reaction.
You can't go about killing our people in places of worship where they are congregating,
the churches,
and accept us to keep quiet. You know, those things have to change. You know, if you keep killing our people, we have to respond too. At a certain time, we can't go on since 1914, 45, etc. You keep killing our people. 1966, you keep killing our people, and nobody does anything about it. So if they want their independence, they can have their independence, but let us go. We are for the self-determination and independence of Biafra. That's where I'm concerned.
Yes, sir.
I'm not concerned about anything happening in Nigeria. I'm a Biafran citizen. So,
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Professor Chukwuemeka AKANNO. He's a long-time professor. He taught for many years, and now he's doing into other businesses. He's right here talking to us. Professor, thank you for coming here. We have more questions for you. Now, the Biafrans, like you mentioned, the churches are being bombed. The businesses are being destroyed across what they call Nigeria. What are the Biafrans, practically doing? There are many factions of Biafra. People are saying that if you have Biafra, that what is happening in Nigeria will still be happening in Biafra because there are different factions. Do you agree with such a statement?
No, because nobody will have been allowed to run a country like Biafra. To agree with that type of analysis.
Okay, you don't believe in that analysis?
Yeah, but the problem is this.
3 years, Biafra was independent and it ran efficiently.
We ran our own refineries.
Okay.
We ran our own hospitals.
Right.
We produced products like soaps, etc. Even with the blockades, etc.
We never had fuel.
Join Professor if you want. He can join the Professor.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can go close.
Let him go ahead and finish.
That situation does not arise. If Biafra is given the opportunity, we will run an efficient country. We would have the capabilities and we have the people to run those type of economies.
Yeah, that takes me back to the 3 years of freedom of Biafran Republic. 1967 to 1970.
Okay.
We understand within that 3 years of freedom, the economy was running 24/7.
Correct.
That even though where the British, the Russians were still bombing the Biafran land, that their light was still running non-stop.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, they refine their own petroleum.
Yeah. Let me tell you how we refine the petroleum.
Okay, go ahead.
There's something like oil canning centers. Ediblas, that's what you call it in Igbo.
All right, okay.
So they ran almost all the villages. That is why you take palm oil,
palm oil,
and they separate it and get palm oil.
Okay.
All those centers during the Biafran era were turned into refineries.
Wow.
Okay, and they were done by chemistry students who
scientists,
who were there. They were able to, produce petroleum, diesel, engine oil from those areas. And so the Biafran economy in terms of fuel production, was self-sufficient.
Stabilized, was still stable, regardless.
Yeah, now, there was a modern refinery that was built by Biafrans in Amandoba. I'm hearing it for the first time. I've never read Amandoba. You know, the federal troops, when they came in, let that place, was destroyed. The first thing that would have been done, that was even better than the refineries they have anywhere.
The one they have in AKANNO, Morocco, and which other place?
But in Ahmad, it was built during the war by Biafran scientists.
Wow.
And it had all the necessary technology to run it, etc. It's helped both, in terms of logistics, it helped the military then, the Biafran armed forces. And also in terms of the economy, it produced gas enough for the local economy then.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And this is in addition to all those, little refineries that were done from the oil, canal oil centers. So that wouldn't arise. Biafra would take care of itself.
Okay, so Biafra can handle their refineries.
Yeah. But
go ahead.
The painful thing is that I want my BBO brothers, Ijo brothers, Efik brothers to speak up. You can't allow people to be killing us, playing one group against the other, like Efik, Ijo, etc., and saying, no, it's an Igbo, basically an Igbo problem. I want them to wake up and start working together so that, we can get our Biafran and self-determination, very fast. If after our self-determination is not just for the Igbos, it's for our Ijo brothers. It's for everything. I think we have the capability, to team up and agree to disagree. After all, we've lived together. We are all neighbors. We've lived together for over 6,000 years before Lord Lugard came in there.
Yes, sir.
So we should be able to live together again, given the opportunity for self-determination and independence. So I'm urging them all to work together in a peaceful way to get independence. But where that is not a viable option, our people have the right to choose their own option to attain self-determination and independence. And then let them not think that they can just continue killing our people since 1914, 1945, 1966, and just continue like that and expect us to just let our people be murdered. In places of worship, where they are, they are in their shops, business shops, etc. In the hospitals, where they are working, etc. That can't go on for long. You can't continue killing our people and expect us to do nothing.
Right. Let me take you back again to the regions. Okay, you have the Western region at the time. The Midwestern region was created, under NCNC and AG. What was the party then? NCNC, NCN, and CPU?
Northern People Progressive Congress,
MPC. Okay, so there was a lot of alliance that time, even though there was still friction regardless. But how can you team up? So we're hearing that some of them don't want to team up with the Igbo. Is that true? How can you tell them to cooperate, to team up, like the BBOs, the Ogonis, the Jaws?
It's unfortunate, like the Igbos have been scapegoat for long. Whenever there's, whenever there's a problem, who gets killed first? The Igbos.
Okay.
But they've been used as scapegoats. But the thing is that the Igbos are very peaceful people. I'm not saying that because I'm an Igbo. But because this is my observation. Igbos are very peaceful people that have been used for various reasons. If the ones comes up and puts the Igbo against the Ijo, etc., because they want to steal our oil.
The oil. So it's always the question of oil. That's what it is.
They're not interested in our people.
They're not interested in
anything. They just want to steal our oil and develop their area, etc., and leave our areas dry.
What we are hearing, like last question, I let you go, sir. What we are hearing is that the oil spill in the region is worse than it was estimated. They said the oil spill is more than the damage with the air, the land, the space, the water, the pollution is astronomical. What do you say, sir? What do you tell?
It's very sad and unfortunate. We have fishermen who can't fish anymore because the whole water system, tribunal are all corrupt, like in terms of the oil pollution, etc. We have farmers who can no longer farm, and both the state, whatever the Lugadi structure is there, doesn't do anything about them. Kids, etc. Hospital, they can't even find water to drink, and they go to those polluted water and drink, and it causes medical complications. So these things are very sad things. It's not, I'm not saying it, to talk against anybody.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
These are realities.
These are reality on the ground.
On the ground.
Yeah.
You go there, they don't have any housing. They just have shacks. There is no road, nothing, no schools, etc. So what do you want the people there to do? Then on top of that, you are taking their resources, using it to buy arms to suppress them. That doesn't make sense.
I just want to mention Dimo Jugu, the former Biafran head of state, passed last year. And, we celebrated. We've not been able to run into you. We've written a lot of articles, and we say, may his soul rest in peace. Our general, General Chukwemeka Odimegwu Jugu, who passed last year, and we buried him, a couple of months ago. What's your comment on that? Odimegwu Jugu, he passed last year.
Yeah, we lose a big brother, a giant.
A giant.
An exemplary leader. One who placed, himself, his resources, in the service of his people. Okay, so he's a very unique guy. I wish we have more leaders like that who could just do the same thing, fearlessly place themselves, everything for their people. That's it will be difficult to fill his shoes, but we just hope that some of our people, whether they are Bibios, whether they are Jaws, whether they are Efik, etc., Chekiri, etc., would come up and say, look, this guy is an exemplar. Let's do the same thing he did to see if we can free our people.
That they need to say that in Portugal, they need to say that. He told the truth for the past 20 years.
Yeah, he was ahead of his time.
Ahead of his time.
He was ahead of his time. He told them all this truth, going to Aburi, and they told lies and turned everything upside down.
Gowan made comment recently. I don't know if you follow Gowan comment. Gowan said that he did everything he can. Himself, Dan Juma, even Muhammad Bure was there, and he was awarded something. I don't know what he was awarded for leadership, whatever. So he made a comment that actually that he did everything to stop the war. That it was the Juma that started the war.
No. That's not.
People say it was a big lie.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Gowan's comment?
Look, I don't want to go Yakubu Gowan.
But he made a comment.
Yeah, he made that comment. But at least he's coming out with some little truths about Ojukwu as a leader, etc.
Why now? Why didn't when Ojukwu was alive? Why couldn't he basically speak up when Ojukwu was alive? He didn't say anything. Yeah. Now he passed. He wants to make some.
For me, Gowan is a Lord Lugadis, or is a Lord Lugadis agent. I don't see him as even a leader. Because he was a leader, he would have done everything to avoid Aburi. But to me, I was a young person then. He's egotistic.
Egotistic, okay.
Yeah, he's egotistic. If he was a leader, he would have done everything to stop Aburi. How many millions of people were killed on both sides? What did he gain?
3.5 million, we heard.
Okay, not only that, after the war, he was overthrown, and they keep on all these lies. They're all Lugadis agents, okay. Or what I would call Lugadis foot troops or foot soldiers.
Okay, foot soldiers.
So I don't put much to what they say. First of all, they have to accept the truth. They made a mistake, from ethnic cleansing, etc., etc. They have to be honest, like Africans, and say, look, all those things were mistakes. The whole Lugadi structure in 1914 was a mistake.
Start with the truth.
Let's start with the truth.
Then we can build from there.
I was looking recently about looking for Lugadi's materials, his records and anything. I grew up in Nigeria, but I never saw any Lugadi's paper in any university or archives in Nigeria.
We heard that the Nigerian government bribed foreign media. BBC was bribed, according to the report we're hearing right now. Some of the UN officials were bribed. CNN was bribed. A lot of media houses were bribed not to talk anything about Biafra. But now we have this media. Biafrans now are speaking up anywhere they are in the world. The truths are coming out. So they can't hide anymore. That's why RepublicReporters is here as well, trying to tell our own story the way it is. Our people are writing, and we are grateful to have you, speak to us. We also heard, if you don't mind, Professor, that the Biafrans have dragged the Nigerian government to ICC. Is that correct? That's what I hear. Document has been filed.
ICC.
International Criminal Court of Justice.
There are many,
in Hague, Netherlands.
There are many Biafran groups. The Biafran government in exile.
Government in exile.
The Biafran Liberation
movement
in exile.
Okay.
And also there is also now, which is active, Radio Biafra London.
Right, London. Okay.
So and you have also Voice of Biafra.
Voice of Biafra.
Okay. So
South Africa.
This here in the US.
Okay.
Operating from Washington.
Oh, Washington is okay.
It's Octo and in an arm of the Biafran government in exile.
Absolutely. Okay.
So and then we have
all working together.
Yeah, we have all that movements like internally, like Mosob, etc. Which is for them to work together,
right, absolutely,
and then make sure that they expedite our self-determination and independence.
So what do you think about the ICC?
ICC thing,
the legal case.
Yeah, they have sent in documentation. There's the legal department of the Biafran government in exile, and then the Biafran liberation in exile. They are handling those matters. I don't have all the details, but they have sent out not just to ICC, they have sent out documentations to the UN and other international bodies.
Wow, okay. What do you think about Mossab? What do you think about Owazurike? Raphael Owazurike?
He's a prominent Biafran. If he's listening to me now,
if you are listening, listen to this.
I'm urging him to work with his other brothers and sisters to expedite our self-determination and independence. The essence of leadership, right, is to say that you are, you get yourself above petty squabble as a leader, and make sure that you are reaching out to your brothers and sisters in other Biafran liberation movements, so that you could work efficiently and effectively and speeding the time of liberation.
To speed it up, we need to work together as a team. Regardless of the platform or the affiliations, we have to work as a team wherever we are. In Canada, in London, back home.
And Owazurike has that peculiar position as the leader of Mosob. Just like our other brothers in the BBO movement, Ijo movement, they should be all talking and working together so that they can help our people get liberated. They shouldn't be afraid of the Lugadi structures. They should work hard, because as they are working, the Lugadi structure is working also to suppress them, and make the Biafran liberation and independence not to be successful.
But we heard that the current Lugadi's cage or the empire of thieves, if some people call them empire of thieves, it's actually collapsing. They are running out of cash. They can't pay the embassy, they can't pay employees. They own some 3 months people are unpaid. Teachers, doctors, there's protests in Lagos, there's one in Enugu. They can't actually pay the employees right now. So is that a sign of a faltering nation that's almost collapsing?
There are people who believe that the Lugadi structure is already a failed state. It's a failed state. It's just a question of time. It's written everywhere.
The handwriting's on the wall.
Yeah. So if the leaders there should be responsible and make that transition peacefully. They could have economic unity. They could have some type of collective defense pact as neighbors, etc. So the leaders should rise up to the occasion and stop hiding the truth, and pretending that Lord Lugadi 1914 never happened, etc.
Yeah, pretending that it never happened. Pretending that the 3.5 million killed Biafrans never happened.
Like the 3.5 million Biafrans that were killed never happened. And then you see some of them, adding salt to injury. When they would say, no Biafran was killed, etc. Like if the war just started, people were killed in the north because I was born there.
Yes.
I survived the ethnic cleansing. I was very young.
Wow.
I had to sleep on the street for about 7 days.
7 days.
Before the federal troops came in, like the mobile police people came in and secured the area. We slept on the street, and you can see that time I was just a kid.
Wow.
I slept on the street because you are afraid that if you slept inside, people will come in and kill you. And that still is continuing. And my parents are gone, they've experienced that. I'm still here, and it's worse today than it was then. So our leaders should wake up and stop, covering up. Pretending that 1914 never happened, and 1945 never happened, no, 1966 never happened, 1967 never happened, this Biafran Nigerian war never happened. They just continue, everything just continues. And things will continue getting worse until they open up to the truth and start addressing the problem and start not looking at someone who is raising those things as an enemy, etc. You know, we want our people to enjoy like every other place in the world.
In society. But we're hearing that FBI, CIA, Mossad, essentially Nigeria has invited them to come and help them secure. Because right now, Boko Haram bombed the United Nations building in Abuja. They bombed Bauchi, Benue. They bombed churches, Kano, Kaduna, Sokoto, and so many other areas. So, what has the CIA and FBI to do with security in the land and Mossad?
Because some of the people in the security apparatus in this Lugadi structure is, you know, lies to them. They're not giving them the right information. You know, those things are not the problem. The problems started from 1914. And you know, it's just a progression. And then in order to resolve that, you have to go back to 1914. Right? And then resolve whatever mistake that Lugard made. You know, Lugard has long gone. It's the responsibility of the people, the natives there, to ratify that mistake and move on.
So some people say if you go back to 1914, that means if you affect the other sub-region territories and countries, their territorial borders will also be affected because it's part of the whole Berlin 1884 conference or partition of the continent.
But if they don't address it, it will be worse. It will be worse.
How? What do you mean by it will be worse?
Okay, for example, like before the Civil War, everybody thought that if they gave Gowon all the aid he needed, etc., you know, nothing would happen. But we have got to a point where British and Italian citizens were kidnapped. You know,
currently,
who were there, you know, in Sokoto, building and developing Sokoto, the central bank there.
You're kidding me.
You understand? So, you know, if someone were to tell and that we are killed.
Okay, the Italian and the British, I remember the story.
So, and you just alluded to the bombing of the United Nations headquarters, killing people who were worshipping in Catholic Church, the media houses, etc. So those things would continue if they don't go back to 1914. You know, and address that question and give people their liberty and independence and, you know, self-determination, so that they will start, you know, addressing the real problems that have been left unaddressed since 1914.
So with the signatures and cracks on the wall, are we heading to Somalia? What do you think? What's going on? Is it Somalia?
I hope they don't get to that. I hope the leaders will rise up, you know, to the occasion and then do the right things. Stop lying, go back to 1914, you know, give everybody self-determination and independence, which was there before the arrival of Lord Lugard.
But they're saying no. What would the people do? They're saying no. They're not. This is power.
Who is saying no?
Those who are in power.
The only people that will say no to this, is because they are looting the resources, the oil resources. That's why they are saying no. If you put away the oil resources, they won't say any no. As long as they keep looting the resources and bribing off some people, etc., you know, the situation will even get worse. So the only thing is go back to 1914, ratify the situation, give people their self-determination and independence, and let everyone move on.
Solution. What's the way forward, sir? What's the way forward? Finally, what's the way forward?
Again, independence, self-determination and independence for Biafra, self-determination and independence for Arewa Republic, self-determination and independence for Oduduwa Republic, self-determination and independence for Bini Republic. And then TV, I use TVJ Kata Republic. Okay? These things, if you look at the history of the natives,
this is a nation state at the time.
Yeah, so it didn't start one time. You know, there was the TV youth movement led by J.S. Tucker. Okay, a lot of people were killed here. There is the Western election that resulted in a lot of killings. They can't be covering those things up.
Killing and nobody says nothing.
And that
they bribe them with money.
The problem is that 1914 amalgamation. If you visit it and ratify it, then there will be peace there. Everybody will move on and everybody will be happy. There is enough resources in that area to satisfy everyone.
Even the West African sub-region.
Yeah.
Okay. And we are hearing what it is. They kill you, they bring your son and bribe him.
Yeah.
I heard that the Kensaruwa's son has been brought. He's a special assistant to Jonathan. Yeah. We heard that MK Abiola, Babangida claimed that they were paid $8.6 something million. Call Abiola. So they killed their father. Boko Haram leader, Mohammed Yusuf, whether he was killed, the family was giving 100 million. That's what we're hearing. And now the CBN governor is busy trying to share money to the victims of what he called in Kano. 100 million to Boko Haram victims in Kano State. Meanwhile, bombing has been going on in Bauchi, in Benue, in Plateau, in Jos. It's like nothing happened.
One thing though is sad, wherever Africans are killed, massacred senselessly.
Right.
Any killing is bad. And in order to stop all those things, I still say they have to go back to 1914 and ratify that situation and give people their self-determination and independence. We're not asking for anything new. The North was a separate entity
at the time.
The Western region was a separate entity. The Eastern region was a separate entity. And they recognized that, and that's why they kept it that way. But for administrative purposes, for budgetary purposes and purposes related to cost, not look at packed everything
for their selfish interest.
For their own interest. It wasn't for the interest of the natives. Treaties were abrogated. The Ewa Treaty and a lot of treaties
were broken.
Were broken so that Lord Lugard would have the amalgamation. So you have, in order to solve the problem, you have to go there. It's not a question of asking for British Special Forces, the US,
or FBI,
or arresting innocent Mossad members and throwing them in jail because they are wearing Mossad t-shirt and things like that. That wouldn't solve the problem.
They should release them.
They should release them. What will solve the problem is they have to be, the leaders there, the natives, have to be honest. Those of them in the federal legislature or in the state legislature, they should start tackling this honestly, and peacefully dissolve the place. Dissolve the entity, the Lugadis entity,
and stop pretending.
And image as legitimate states. Ariwa Republic,
and
they'll partner as neighbors. Ariwa Republic, Republic of Oduduwa, Republic of Biafra, Republic of Benin,
Sharia state law, whatever.
JS Qatar Republic, and then if our brothers from Idoma, if they decide to go with our TV brothers, that's fine. If they want to come with us, Biafran, that's fine.
All right.
But those things, they could work it out as peacefully, as peaceful natives, etc.
On a sovereign national conference?
Yeah,
possibly.
You don't need that. You pass that stage.
Wow.
You pass that stage.
We passed that stage.
Yeah, Obasanjo had the opportunity to do it, but he didn't want to be honest. Then he left the opportunity slipped from him.
Referendum.
So a referendum under the UN auspices. Anything they do though should be under the UN auspices.
Under United Nations.
Yeah, because you can't trust those crooks there.
But do you trust UN?
Yeah, the UN could, the UN should just decide on the way, asset responsibility, how they, share the asset obligations of the whatever the Lugadi structure is. That's why the UN should come in so that those things will be done very well, and the transition, and it will be a binding document, from the UN. The UN can come in as long as they are giving Biafrans their self-determination, they are giving Arawa Republic their self-determination and independence, and Biafrans their self-determination and independence, and Oduduwa Republic their self-determination and independence, and Benin Republic their self-determination and independence, and TV, Qatar, Idoma Republic, Idoma is a special case. They can go anywhere. They can go with us, Biafrans, and they can go with, they have that choice. Right. But those things would be worked out so that nobody cheats the Idomas.
Professor, one more question. On Aburi with time, Aburi Accord.
Okay.
What do you think?
Those things now are footnotes in history now, because that's the question of leadership.
But all that you're saying is in Aburi.
Yeah, that's it.
All that you're saying is actually in Aburi Accord.
But that's true now. But that's a footnote in history, because the leaders at that time, especially Gowon, didn't step up to the occasion. It was more. It's sad that
because for that period.
Yeah, it's for that period. I like Gowon as a person.
Okay.
But he didn't rise up to the expectation. Right?
So that I don't get in the picture.
So as a person, but they have to change their thinking. you know,
their mindset.
Their mindset in terms of the Lugard structure.
Okay.
It was someone, Lord Lugard, that created the structure. So they have the same power to dissolve it and make it better for the people. That's simple common sense. You know, someone created a structure and imposed it on you. And if you read his opinion of the natives there, it's even an abomination what he thought about them. They should make their time to read those things. Those leaders, both in the federal legislature, state legislature, actually every native under the Lugard structure should make an attempt to look at the Lugard's papers.
So the papers are coming out. Who is in the papers? How did you get the papers?
I recite, I even looked in Nigeria, nowhere in Nigeria.
You can't find it. You can't destroy them.
And even if you find them, they are in personal holdings.
Personal property.
Yeah, you can't, you have to go to the people who are holding the papers.
So you can't find them in Nigerian archives or anything?
No, you can't find them in any of the archives.
Personal holdings.
So it's sad that people who have ruled Nigeria didn't take the time to read those papers. That would have given them the guidance of what to do. I don't think any Nigerian leader has read those material except for Juku, because I see him alluded to that in his
documents.
In the documents. That's why he was able to come up with all those things, because he read it.
That's why they hated him.
Yeah, because he's a historian or something.
The historian, that's right. He read history.
He read it, and he saw those things.
Wow.
He knew what. So I think he was the only person that has read it among the echelons. I might be wrong.
No, you're right.
Because if you go, I grew up there, I never saw it in any elementary school papers, secondary school papers, universities there. Except for a few people who are in the know, who saw that. But I urge every native under the Lugard structure to read those materials.
Yes, sir.
And judge for themselves and draw their own conclusion.
Sir, is there anything else you want to tell Biafrans around the world and their neighbors and Oduas, Sharia, those who are pushing Sharia state? Anything else in conclusion that you want to tell them?
Okay, I want them to share their differences. First of all, I want Boko Haram brothers and sisters, to stop the killings. That is not the solution. Just stop the killings, find other methods to advance the self-determination of, Arewa Republic and independence of Arewa Republic. Okay? Let them all work together. People who are working for the Bini Republic, Biafran Republic, Oduduwa Republic, TVJS, Qatar Republic, let them join hands and quicken the sufferings there, the end of the suffering, by working together, and they will have both their self-determination and independence. That's the solution. Not trying to get people flying to give you security training or something.
And
resources. Or turning your guns against your own people, against poor people like them. So that's not the solution. The solution is for everybody to work together, right, and dissolve that structure, because it was created by someone and imposed on them. So they have the rights and the whole know-how to dissolve it and live peacefully and come up with a structure that will be good for everybody in the region.
Thank you, Professor AKANNO. We thank you so much for giving us the opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor AKANNO flew from California. He came here at the United Nations Nigerian Mission, and he was at the UN. And speaking to us today, we are privileged to have our eminent professor, Professor AKANNO, speaking on RepublicReporters. Thank you, Professor AKANNO. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Tell me.
You have to be. How many questions are you going to ask?